I have a thing for darkness, but you can see with your mind. Even when I have my doubts, you say your love isn't blind. So I can give you shelter, but am I a part of your goals? Maybe none of it matters, 'cause I don't want to let go. I never meant to break a promise.
Right then, today I've come back in these woods again. I came here, I think it was before the summer, just one of them out and about days. And I think I got a nice composition here last time looking through the trees. It was one of my favourite images of the year. So with autumn now sort of moving away, I thought I'd come in down here today and have a look around, see if I can catch the last of autumn in this woodland and see what it's like now compared to what it was back in spring. So yeah, so just gonna have a wander around here and hopefully might find something that'll catch the eye. So that's the plan today, just to explore around here and look for some last autumn colours. Right, I've just stopped over here. This is quite unusual, but it's caught my eye anyway. It's just a very, very little running stream here. But what I like about it is the rock in the foreground. It's got a lot of colours on there, like a red, green and yellow old dead autumn leaves. But just above that, it's like a brick chimney type of thing just sticking out of the ground, and you're thinking, what the hell is that doing there? So it just looks unusual. So what I'm going to do is find the composition using a portrait, probably put a 4-stop filter on it, polarised to really saturate the colours there. Definitely something different, and like I say, it's just experimental really, so I'll set up and get a composition for this. Got a question here from Outer Spaces. Hi Jason, would you consider doing workshops on how to edit and bring your videos together, even an online video tutorial? No, I'm not really into making tutorials and videos online, stuff like that. I think there's plenty of content online if you want to know something really, so no, that's not my kind of thing. I'm not really a teacher. I just like to go out with the camera and explain composition and take images. That's what I like doing. As for workshops, yeah, I am considering starting workshops next year in Snowdonia and in Anglesey. Also, I'm also thinking about a day workshop in Dinorwig Quarry. But all them details will be on the website in the new year about the workshops and prints and all that. So Ken Powell says, hi Jason, love your vlogs. Do you ever go to Conway, do any street or night photography of the castle and around the quayside of town? Also, if you do set up any workshops, yeah, I've explained the workshops. I haven't really done any street photography. It's not really my kind of thing, to be honest with you. I like my landscapes, but however, I would be interested in doing some street photography of old towns. Like Carnarvon's a good example, so I'll probably do that next year. Or Conway's a good example as well. Yeah, I'd be definitely interested in old towns, old streets and all that with these old sort of lamps. That would be quite interesting. Steve D, We all love the new technology coming through with a range of new camera releases. So what, if anything, has caught your attention recently and why? Right then, I'm not really into the new tech and all that, simply because I can't afford it. I still shoot on the Canon 5D Mark II. I never thought it was essential to upgrade really to the Mark III. The Mark IV, maybe. But if there is a camera that's on my mind, which I'll probably get next year, I think will be the 5D SR. I think the 50 megapixel camera, simply for the dynamic range that camera has. Because I'm using an older camera like the 5D Mark II, I'm having to bracket more just to get that dynamic range. So if there's a camera I'll be interested in next year would be the 5D SR or the 5D Mark IV, just simply for the dynamic range. But no, I'm not really I'm not one of them like, oh, I've got to get the new camera, oh, I've got to have that and all this and all that shit. No. So yeah, they're the two cameras I'll be considering getting next year. Okay, Gordon McGregor. Hi Jason, tell us a bit about you. Why did you start YouTube videos? What is your ambition with photography? And that's from Gordon McGregor. Gosh, how did I start YouTube videos? Well, I come from a media background. So I studied media moving image quite late in life, really, in my 30s, because the 1990s was such a blur. I was a bit of a party animal. You know, I did all them raves and all that, so yeah, I didn't go to college till I was 30, in my 30s, and university. So yeah, I studied media moving image and creative industries in university. So yeah, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I really was passionate about filmmaking. I did a few short films, and in them short films I always included landscapes, so it was, they were always like dramas, but had a balance of the landscapes and drama, just to make them sort of beautiful to look at. I also did documentaries, won a couple of awards for a documentary I did on the Slate Quarry. So photography came through filmmaking, really. I mean, when you're doing behind the scenes stuff and taking stills from the inserts from the film, that's where photography came from, really. Yeah, so about 10 years ago I started getting an underactive thyroid, and I sort of changed in myself, but I didn't really understand what was going on, but it was a thyroid problem. So with thyroid you sort of suffer depression, anxiety and all sorts of weird shit. So filmmaking became something difficult after leaving college and uni. I mean, I just wasn't good at setting things up and all that, and people were letting you down. It just became something very frustrating. So that somehow just faded away, and photography just came in somehow. I was doing portraits, weddings, which I just didn't enjoy. Weddings, hated it. Yeah, so but I ended up still doing sort of behind the scenes photography on films, for adverts and stuff like that. So yeah, I done that, and then I went into landscapes, and I started watching YouTube, looking for stuff. There wasn't much stuff there like vlogs. The only people who were vlogging there were Thomas Heaton and First Man Photography, and I got really into that, and I thought, hang on, I can go out here, I can do my filmmaking, I can do my editing, and I can do photography. 3 things that I love. And that was 2 years ago, and I just love it now. I just love going out on your own, exploring places, being creative to get that image, and then going home, editing it, and putting everything together. That's just what I love. So yeah, that's how I got into making YouTube videos, really. It was sort of bringing 3 things together, you know, my filmmaking passion, the editing, the photography, just being able to do them things and being creative on my own, and no one else to answer to. Brilliant. Right, this looks totally different in autumn than spring. I think it looks much better in spring, but I'm going to take an image anyway. You got this silver birch tree on the left of the frame here, slanting on the side here, and just beside that you've got these other sort of trees here with sort of just about see the green colours, but right behind it you could see the quarry, which is very rustic colour. Also the skies in the top of the sky, just to give it more, give some the image more detail. So yeah, and I've got all this dead bracken on the floor, which is a rusty red sort of colour. Well, not really red, I'd say more orange, but at least I got some light in the background there, so it might be quite interesting with the silver birch tree slanting on the side there, and the trees here in the beside it here. So with this shot, I'm going to have to bracket. So yeah, I'm going to set up the composition and see how it works. Gary, Reed Photography. What's your favourite image from all the time you have been vlogging? Ooh, that's quite difficult, really. I think my favourite image is the one I did not so long ago in the Ogwen Valley on the way to Comidwell. It was with the river flowing down on that tree and that cloud rolling in the background. I really like that image. There's also another image that I did in the summer where I had them 2 windswept trees on top of the mountain, which I found after looking for quite some time, and it was a sunset with Anglesey in the background. I think one of them are my favourite image that I can think of at the moment. Peter Dovey, could you explain bracketing each side in more detail, please? God, I get asked about bracketing quite a lot. It's pretty straightforward, really. What it is, you take one image at the normal exposure, then you either do 1 stop overexpose or 1 stop underexpose. But if it's dark, you can do 2 stops overexposed or 2 under. So what you do then is you combine them images all together in something like Photomatics. I use Photomatics for blending because it does a really good job at blending them together. And then I'll get a balanced image, and then from that I'll stick it in Lightroom and finish it off there. But I have done a vlog on what is HDR, and I'll stick the link below so you can look back on that one. More Martin Hogarth, another question about workshops. Like I said, I'll be doing them next year. I'll put all the details on the website in the new year so you can check it out there. Like I said, it'll be Snowdonia, Anglesey, and probably one in Dinorwick Quarry. Artist 1974, Hi Jason, you do such beautiful photographic work. How long have you been a photographer and what made you get into landscape photography? Well, I've just explained how I got into it, but I've been doing it for over 10 years, but I think landscape for about 5. Eddie Rubens, does medium format interest you, for example Fuji, GFX? If I had the money and I could afford it, it definitely it would have my interest, but I don't really think about it. I can't afford a medium format, but if I could, yeah, I'd definitely be interested. Dr. Thomas Sims. Hi Jason, is photography your profession or just a hobby? Do you think it's possible to sustain a living as a photographer without doing weddings, school or baby photography? Good question. No, I think it's pretty difficult just to do landscape photography on its own, unless you were a big YouTuber like Thomas Heaton or Nigel Danson. They have a huge following. They can probably make quite a bit of income from their YouTube vlogs, plus they get a lot of work coming from YouTube. So for guys like that, they can make a living out of landscape photography. Now for guys like me, unfortunately, it's we've got to do work. Unfortunately, we've got to do other shitty work, and I guess this is just more than a hobby. I do take this serious, and I do hope one day I can do this full time. So, but no, as a landscape photographer, no, you probably have to do things like sell prints, photo shoots, weddings, all that sort of stuff, just to sustain the right amount of money. So no, unless you were Thomas Heaton or someone like Nigel Danson, then you could do this full time. Robert Jones. Hi Jason, was there any one photographer who inspired you first to pick up a camera? No, not really. I'm not really inspired by any photographers. I don't really know any names of any photographers, only for the vlogging guys I know of. So yeah, no, I'm not inspired by anyone. I sort of look at books and I look at images and think, oh, they're great, but I don't really know who took them or anything like that. So no, I'm not inspired by anyone. I love photography. It's like a personal thing. It's just something I've got to go out and do it myself. It's just my own creative thing. So no, I'm not really inspired by anyone. Steve M. Hi Jason, would be interested in how you decide to use long exposures such as ND10s, etc. Bit of a beginner's questions maybe. I would love the idea of some workshops. Yeah, I've explained the workshops. Filters, long exposures. As you get more into photography, you understand how to use filters to give you the sort of image you want. Like for oceans, for the sea, for example, I like to use a 4-stop filter, which gives me an exposure time of between 1 and 4 seconds, so I can get that look from the sea, so it's not too milky or anything like that. Now if I wanted a very subtle image, now say I had a lighthouse in the distance, I had the sea, the ocean, there was a lot of moving clouds, I wanted a really simple image, I could put a 15 stop, completely smooth out the sea, and the clouds would be just like a lightish grey, and just get a very simple shot of a lighthouse. You know, things like that. Some waterfalls by using a 10 stop. You know what kind of look you're going to get from a waterfall. It's going to be very silky. So these are just things that you learn on the way, and yeah, it might be daunting when you first start photography, but it's second nature in the end. Just keep practicing. Question here from Max Million. I like your music choices on your videos, and I was wondering where you get your music from. Well, I make it all myself. Nah. I get them from a website called Epidemic Sound. They have a brilliant library of different types of music there, and you pay a subscription fee of £10 a month. It's well worth it because the choice of music is brilliant, and it's good quality music too. Question from Colin Adams. Jason, do you process your audio in any way or use it as it comes? Well today, for example, it's a calm day, there's no wind. So what I've got on the camera today is the Rode Micro, which is plugged into the camera, so the audio just goes straight in there, which is easier when it comes to editing. Now when it's a lot windier and all that, I use my little, is it HN1 or HN2 little audio recorder with a lavalier mic here with a wind muff. So when on windier days I record the audio separately, and when I edit in Premiere later I'll blend them together with the moving image, and what I normally do is when I press record on the video and record on the HN1, I'll do that, and that sort of matches it up together when I do my editing later in the day, if that makes any sense. Question from Marcel Masliold or something like that. Hello Jason, love your vlogs and loving the surroundings you live in. What do you think is better to shoot, landscape pictures in manual or auto? Manual. Dennis Mosley says, how about using a model at the quarry? I've done it in the past, yeah. I've done some nice black and white and colour images in the quarry before. If you take a model into the quarry, put her in some nice red clothes or anything bright, there's a good contrast between that and the dark quarry. So yeah, it's a brilliant place to do photo shoots with a model. Yeah, I've done it in the past. Now this little tree over here has caught my eye. It's like a silver tree on its own, in the middle of this dark sort of woodland. So yeah, it just stands out, and it's on a sort of grass mouldy hill. I don't know, it's just caught my eye. So what I've done with this, I've gone at f4. That's the sort of lowest I can go. It's an f4 lens here. ISO 100, bracketed to each end, and hopefully it'll be a nice sort of image in the woods with this silver tree just sticking out at the centre there on this grassy hill. So I think that's it for today. Just a little vlog here. I think autumn's pretty much gone now. Had a bit of a struggle here looking for compositions in the woods here, but there you go. Also done the Q&A. I had a lot of questions that were pretty much the same, so I hope I've covered everyone's questions in what I've said. I mean, there was a lot about workshops, Like I said, that'll be online next year for you to look at. Yeah, bracketing, I get asked a lot there. I'll leave a link below to the vlog I did, what is HDR, to try and explain bracketing to you. So yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.